Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 40.
This is the finale, but come back next week. We will be doing Life After Lockup.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, let's walk us through this last episode.
So we start with Daniel and Bianca.
Ew.
So Daniel is released from jail. He has pretty much a whole makeout session with Bianca in front of his family.
Yeah.
And then he goes over and hugs and greets his family.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sentenced to 6 years because he was basically got in trouble when he was on parole for burglary.
Mm-hmm.
His birth father had some issues, and he got into heroin and meth as a youth.
Yeah.
So he had substance abuse disorders all throughout his younger life.
Yeah.
He asked Bianca to marry him because he was afraid to lose her. And they're just in the car about to drive to the whole family. They're about to go out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just talking about how, they basically want to get into some things tonight with each other. Like they're ready to get it on. She's talking about, what if we get pregnant? She wants to get married within 6 months. Like, she wants to hurry up and get this process moving along.
Yeah.
And he's having some second thoughts. He thinks that it was pretty foolish of him to propose to her while he was in jail.
Wow.
Because he's really not ready to get married yet.
Okay.
So Daniel ends up calling his PO, and the PO just asked him, okay, you're going to go to the halfway house like we discussed.
Mm.
He was like, actually, he wants to stay at the apartment with his fiance. So the PO says, just come into the office tomorrow and I'll see if I can get it approved for you. So to them, that means that he's good to go as far as staying in the apartment tonight.
No,
I wasn't completely clear on that.
That's not what the PO said.
I feel like I would need to ask directly. So can I stay at the apartment tonight? But I don't know.
I probably would have. I listen here. I don't understand it. Like,
Yeah.
you even heard her friend saying, "Hey, he needs to stay in the halfway house unless it gets approved."
Yeah.
And my whole thing is with Daniel. His name is Daniel,
Yes.
right? With Daniel and Bianca,
Yes.
they know what's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just trying to get over, and they trying to say, "Oh, it's gonna get approved anyway." So like one day off is all good. So it's just, and then if they was to get caught, they go use the excuse of I called my PO.
Right.
So it's like people know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So they meet up with the family to eat, and the mom is worried that he's going to relapse.
Yeah.
She brings up how Bianca drinks and she parties, and she doesn't know if that's something that he should be around.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also worried if they're going to be around people who are sober or people who are not sober.
Yeah.
And Bianca says that, of course, living in this new town, she's going to meet people and she's going to go out with folks. She might go to brunch and have some mimosas, and come home and be a little bit tipsy. So she hopes that he understands that she's young. She wants to experience life and not have any boundaries.
Okay.
And the mom is stressing the point that it only takes one time for him to slip up in OD. Because as we learned, when he was in jail, he didn't slip up on no hooch. He slipped up on some fentanyl.
And how did he get it?
Exactly.
So he
found a way.
He found a way.
Exactly. And so Daniel knows that he's going to struggle with his sobriety. It's going to be an issue his whole life. And the mom apologizes for whining and crying, but she's telling him, like, I love you. I really don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
And of course, we know Daniel's brother passed away because of drug use. And he tells her that he loves her and he tries to reassure her. And Bianca tells him that she thinks that they're really going to be good together.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Are you done with the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Are we done with them for the
Yes.
rest of the show? They said we will see them in Life After Lockup.
Yes.
Right? I think for them, Daniel's a grown man. Somebody said something. 2 comments I want to point out from last week. One from weeks ago and one from last week. One last week saying, besides putting all the spotlight on Bianca, I'm paraphrasing, Daniel is a grown man. And who made his own decisions to the point where he OD'd or well, not OD, but he found a way to have that type of drugs while he was already locked up.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I can't put the whole blame on Bianca. I got to put the blame on this grown man. I think he's using Bianca. But Bianca is easy to be used. And I wonder what we will see in Life After Lockup with them.
Yeah.
And things like that. I think we going to see a lot of immaturity on both parts. I actually wish that he would have went and stay with his parents, because he can have a brother in arms a brother in arms with his father, because his father is trying to live a sober life as well.
Yeah.
But with Bianca, she will not understand that. And guess what? It's really up to him to basically live. It's not up to Bianca to make sure that he lives.
And I agree with you on that. If he's the one who has gone through what he's been through in life, he's the one who has lost a brother and has seen his mom go through the loss. So he should be making the decisions of who he chooses to be around, and not so much who him and Bianca allowed to be around them. It's just like, Daniel, do you want to be engaged, which he said he didn't want to now, but do you want to be engaged to somebody who is not going to prioritize your sobriety and making sure that you have a sober life for you and around you? So that, I agree. Bianca, she's going to be who she is. She's young. She found a way to message somebody, which I think is the weirdest thing, when she got into a car accident to where she almost lost her life and her voice, but she goes out of her way to find somebody who went in jail because of a DUI to connect with. So I'm just I don't know why. I'm just like, I can't put too much dip on Bianca's chip.
Don't do it.
I can't make sense of what she's going through.
Don't do it.
But Daniel, if your life and your sobriety is that important to you, then I don't think Bianca should be in the equation. So
the second comment I want to point out, this was actually weeks back, and I hope you're still watching. Someone said, and I wonder if you saw it, Bliss, somebody said, somebody asked us to get a green screen because we have mugshot white background and it looks boring. No, we're not getting a green screen. Even if I was thinking about it, that comment alone made me go, you know what? We're going to keep it mugshot white, okay? Y'all don't know what color this house is, but I will make sure this wall right here will be mugshot white for y'all, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
But we will do something with the wall. I'm thinking about something with the wall.
I actually have an idea I was going to broach to you today, but we'll talk out later.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay. So we've got Z and Troy.
Okay.
So Yana arrives with Troy's daughter. Her name is also Troy with 2 eyes, which I thought was really cute.
Okay.
So Z, when she walked, she's sitting and looking the other way. So at first I was kind of like, is she like ignoring the baby? But no, like she was waiting until he walked over and introduced the daughter to her. So basically she was allowing them to have their moment.
Yeah, to me, that still was wrong in my eyes.
She should have at least stood up.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Of course.
And Troy is just really hurt that he wasn't there for his daughter, the first 7 years of her life.
Yeah.
And he is tearful in the confessional. And he's just like, he will never make those decisions again to be in a position to where he cannot be there for his daughter. So I was just like, I'm glad that he understands the gravity of it, because some of these people do not.
No, they don't.
So Troy tells his daughter, you can call her Miss Z, Mama Z. Basically, you can form your own relationship with her. And he tells her, like, she's the only other lady who has the same last name as you. So Yana and Z aren't talking. They're on 2 separate sides of the backyard. Yana told her daughter that she didn't need to be nice to Z. She didn't need to speak to her, like all that type of stuff. But the girl is sweet. Just a sweet little girl. So she's, getting to know Z.
Troy twin.
And Yana says that, she or Z should have wanted to make it her business to get to know the mother of Troy's child, since she wants to be around her child. And she says she gives the relationship 60 days. Z wasn't even a good wife. She cheated on Troy.
That's facts.
And Troy was Yana's first love. They broke up when she was pregnant. And he asked, how she wants to go about co-parenting. He asked if he could maybe take her for a couple of weeks, or maybe in the summertime, like when she's not in school, like she can stay with him in Syracuse. And Yana doesn't want her baby around Z.
No.
She's like, that girl don't like me. Why would I leave my child around somebody who doesn't like me? And he says, okay, well, if we can just say maybe one day you can allow it, just allowing the door to be open. And Yana says, we'll get to that bridge. Well, we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Okay. So he gives her a hug. He thanks her. And then he walks back into the backyard. Okay. So Z is asking, so what was that conversation about? Troy explains the conversation, and he is at the point where he's just agreeing to disagree with her. So Z is annoyed because she feels that Troy is always trying to appease her, and he's always trying to keep the peace between the baby mama and her. Yeah. And she's like, I'm too smart for that. She knows Troy isn't telling her everything, and she's not going to bring it up today because she doesn't want to ruin the time that he's had, but she's going to bring it up another time. Okay. So they get in the car to leave. She's asking him how everything went, and he really thinks the day went well, and he is telling Z how much he appreciates her support.
Is that the end for them?
That's the end.
I think they said that they are planning a wedding. I'm not sure if we will see them in life after Lockup. Number one, let's start with Karen. That's Troy's mom, right?
Yeah.
Z and Yana. Troy, with the women in your life, you never gonna have peace. Let's just start with that. You got it on all sides of the spectrum here.
Yeah.
Number two, I want to say, based on how we seen his relationship with Z, it's easy to put Troy as someone to feel sorry for, right? Because with Z, she's basically berating him. She is belittling him. She is just straight up being abusive. Matter of fact, let's call it what it is. Abusive. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to see Troy as like, man, just leave him alone. He's I ain't gonna go so far as say he's a good guy, but man, he's trying to get on his feet and things like that. But when you actually hear the story of how he treated Yana, right? He left her, or they broke up while she was pregnant. He was her first and things like that. They was very young compared to like the age they are now. So you kind of hear like, oh, I don't know if the word is unfinished business, but you can definitely tell like, I'm not really fond of you like that either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because of how you dealt with me, I'm not going to be really fond of you moving on with somebody else. So I don't think it's so much of I want you and I want to be back with you. That's what the mama thinks, right? And maybe there is
and
like
that's what Z thinks.
Yeah, and Z thinks. I think there's some levels to that maybe, but I think it's more like resentment, like you did me wrong. And you just ain't gonna have my baby over there living in y'all complete family and stuff like that.
Y'all get to play house as husband and wife while I'm a single mom.
And you did me dirty.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I loved you and things like that. And you over here trying to move mountains and things of that nature for a girl that cheated on you while you was in prison.
Right.
While I'm over here still trying to talk to you and trying to have some good lines of communication. So I think it can lead to potentially like, maybe we should try again. But I think really Yana is more with resentment because she's like, you're not just going to do me how you get to do me and then move on with my kid. Right. You know what I mean? What is your thoughts on this scene?
No, I totally agree with that. Pretty much co-sign everything you said about how we think about like what Yana might be going through.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Z, like she's just too defensive.
Yeah.
Like she has to find a way to understand that he has a child. He has the mother of his child. And what do you want him to do? Argue with her all day? Like it seems to me that that's what she wants. So that way she can be secure that there's really nothing going on there. Like if they were always at odds, then maybe she would feel more comfortable. But because he tries to be on a good foot with her, then it makes her uncomfortable. So I just think that Z, she just kind of needs to mature in that way. Just because you don't talk to your child's father and you got Troy to sign the certificate of basically being your child's father when he really isn't, you pretty much push that man out of your life. And I'm thinking that she is expecting Troy to do the same. But that's just not going to happen, especially with the fact that the woman raised their child while he was away.
Exactly.
Like he does have gratitude for her in that regard. So,
yeah. And I think there is something to stay on Yana for a little bit. I think there's something to you owe me. You get what I'm saying? You owe me. You over here playing daddy, signing papers and things of that nature, being married or basically planning a marriage with this person, and you don't even know her. And truth be told, let me go to Z. See, I'm going back and forth. I think Z's still cheating on Troy. And I think that's why she is projecting. Maybe. In my opinion, I feel like if she cheated once, you gotta keep an eye on her. She obviously have battles within her head, so she may cheat and justify it because she like, you ain't here, you ain't talking to me. She over here saying, I don't want to ruin the day. You already ruined like 2/3 of the day already. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? And even being at the house and things like that, like you being standoffish, and Yana was standoffish too, but I'm like, there's no one on either side trying to come to a level understanding of, okay, we all have to coexist. So he ain't gonna have peace. But these are the seeds that he invested. Troy, however Troy was 7 years ago, guess what? They all
here's the harvest.
Here's the harvest. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? And with Z, I don't know how he's going to stay in that relationship with her being abusive as she is. But truth be told, I wouldn't want my daughter over there either.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't want my daughter over there either. But I don't think we're going to see them in life after Lockup. But but I feel like this is not the last time we will see them.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
So we move on to Joey and Kim.
Okay.
So Joey is at the park to meet with his ex. He had left Kim at the house, basically said, you can go to the engagement party, your doggone self.
I'll meet you there.
So he wants to know why the ex left him. She pretty much ruined him when it came to relationships.
Okay.
Kim is wondering what else he's hiding since he was communicating with his ex behind her back. The engagement party is about to happen like now, like within the next few hours.
Yeah.
And he's not here. She doesn't know if he's coming back or not. So Joey is texting the ex, trying to find out where she's coming from. He sees a truck out there, and then he's watching to see which way the truck turns because he knows where the ex lives. And so essentially the ex stood him up.
Okay.
And so he was thinking that probably she might have a fiance, a dude, or like kids, and she probably thought she could sneak away, but she couldn't. So that's why he thinks that she stood him up. So basically he's just like, I'm done with the girl. Like, I want her to stop messaging us. Like, we're through with communication.
Oh, now it's us. At first you wanted to meet up privately, but once she stood you up and broke your little heart again, you trying to justify like maybe she had the man and like, you know, he wouldn't let her go. Or maybe like, Joey, you a sucker. And suckers get lit. You get what I'm saying? And now it's like, you know what? I want you to stop messaging us. Yeah, I see you, Joey.
And he said that, but then in the confessional, he was like texting her again. Like
of course.
So I was just kind of like, what is actually going on?
Don't listen to Joey.
So Joey feels like he overreacted when it came to Kim.
Okay.
He comes home and tells her, you know, we're just going to go to the party. Let's forget about what happened. Let's start fresh and let's enjoy our engagement
Thank
party.
you, Joey. Now, okay. Can like you drive us?
They're driving separate.
Wait a minute.
And I'm just like, Joey really like wants to be able to get out of Dodge
And
whenever he wants to.
I have no problem. Don't get it twisted, right? I am a very independent person, meaning that even married, I like to do things alone, right? But I think I'm also level-headed to where even though my wife may have brought me a car, I'm not going to just go out by myself 2 hours after she gave it to me, right? I'm not going to drive separately and use the gift that she gave me and not involve her. And so the first ride wasn't even with her.
Exactly.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Like, so I think even though, cause Joey just come off as someone to where even, let's say, and I don't believe it, let's say Joey is innocent. Let's say he's just completely innocent in this. I don't believe he is. Okay. But the way you move don't give off innocent, man.
Yeah.
It don't give off like it's your engagement party. Why are y'all driving separately? I think for someone who has been taking care of you while you was locked up, I think like even if you want to leave on your own, there's certain debts that have to be paid to where you have to be like, you know what? I'm going to stay. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to be engaged in this engagement party. I'm going to be around you because I gave you my debit card. I gave you my credit card. I was around you while you was locked up. I owe you something. And Joey he don't have that. He's just like, I want to have fun. Yeah. I'm going to get rims. You get what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah, like there's no consideration when it comes to Kim. Like he's the definition of literally like you give somebody a gift, which you do give people gift for them to enjoy. Yeah. But he takes it as, okay, this is my gift. I'm doing whatever the hell I want with it, but with your money as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just like, okay, like there's no level of consideration.
It's not.
So. And I think what got me as well is like they both have these big vans. There is no reason why because I think I heard him say like, oh, like you got stuff in your car, I got stuff in my car, like let's just drive separately. Yeah. But I'm just like, there's no reason y'all couldn't put all the stuff in one car. Like, but anyway.
It just is what it is.
So they get to the venue. They're there to start getting ready, setting everything up. And Kim is nervous about her cousin Tatum coming because, you know, Tatum dated Joey in the past. And she also cheated with Joey when he was dating Tatum.
Wow. Okay, Kim.
So they're both talking to their friends and family separately about the argument that they got into earlier. And Joey's mom is telling Kim, look, like he loves you. It's going to get better. Just basically hold out. Like you guys have something really special here. Okay. So Tatum arrives and she already looks like she's about to cry. She says it's just really weird seeing them together. Okay. And she asks to talk to Kim alone. So she tells Kim that Joey whistled at her while she was walking up outside, like a like a woo woo, like, you know, you look good, girl.
A cat call.
Like a cat call. Yeah.
Okay. The
I didn't know if my whistle was gonna come out too sharp.
That wasn't a whistle. Okay. That demonstration was not good. Cat call.
Cat call. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
So she thinks that Joey is going to play Kim, and she can feel his eyes on her. Tatum says that she doesn't think she can do this, and she's like, I need to go.
Well, just go.
And Kim is just like, okay. But Kim thinks she's overreacting. Like, their relationship was over 20 years ago. This is the engagement party, girl. Sit up, grab a drink, and shut up.
Yeah.
So Kim brings up the whistle to Joey, and all Joey says is that she's crazy.
Okay.
So Ashley, the girl who came in with Tatum, said to the confessional that he did whistle at Tatum, and Tatum is not a liar. She's not just making stuff up, but she doesn't know if Joey can really be there for Kim. So we do find out that Kim and Joey will be on Life After Lockup.
Do you think Tatum want Joey?
No. I think she's actually kind of disgusted by him.
Really?
And bothered by him and hurt. Probably all at the same time.
I don't think she wants Joey, but I don't think she likes the fact that Kim was on the other end of Joey cheating on her.
Right.
So it's one of the things where I don't want him, but you ruin my relationship or basically without me knowing, I'm gonna ruin yours. Right.
And that could be an element to it.
Yeah, I think it's layered. It may not be on the surface, but I think the dramatics of Tatum made it seem like you have to choose between me and Joey. And just to remind you, I'm your nail tech.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And Kim, like I said, I don't put anything past Kim either, because you was grimy for even doing that to your family. You get what I'm saying? Do I believe Joey did it? Maybe. I think Joey did it. For one, just his response is, man, she crazy. I'm like, why y'all call her crazy? Just say you ain't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do believe he did it. But Joey seemed like the type to just do things to, like, basically, like, just to do it. I don't know if he even want her.
I don't think Joey even thinks after he does things or before he does things. Like he just be moving and doing. Like
So he probably did it, but we will see more about them on Life After Lockup.
Yeah. So we move on to True and Shante.
Okay.
So they get to Peppa's house.
We at Peppa's house.
So Peppa is True's sister-in-law's friend. I had it mixed up last episode. My bad, y'all.
You did.
Yeah. So
I didn't want to correct you.
Peppa says that basically they're talking about, going through the house, taking a look at everything. And Shante is asking about, like, visitors and, like, how is all that going to go. And Peppa's talking about she don't like company. She don't like people running up and through her house. Like, it's not going to be none of that. So he, with his house arrest arrangement, he can leave the house Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That's Monday and Wednesday. Well, that is a weird schedule right there.
So he says he's going to get out. He's going to be productive. And he's got other gigs to make some money, because the producers ask him, well, you can't get to the casino to make money. He's like, I got ways.
Yeah, that sounds like a criminal to me.
Yeah. So Shante asks, how long he's going to be on house arrest, because she's going to have these babies, and she doesn't want him to be, not there to be able to support her.
Yeah.
And she was like, he's not going to be gone that long. He's just got to show his PO that he's trustworthy. So they kiss. They're kind of rubbing up on each other. And she says that she doesn't want to do a long distance relationship.
Are you okay?
So we move on to the next day. Shante is calling her friend on the phone and telling her True cheated.
Oh, my goodness.
True had his phone hooked up to the car on Bluetooth, and she heard him say that he was going to go pick somebody up. And when she confronted him about it, he said that he's just having fun.
That's fine.
He uses protection, and he wants to be with Shante. And Shante asked, so I'm just supposed to sit around and wait while you get to do whatever you want? And True said, yes.
Yeah.
So apparently Shante ended up talking to the girl one-on-one, and True and this girl have been messing around for a while. Shante said that the house True is staying in looks like a crack house, and she's going to go there to drop off his stuff and just be done with him.
Okay.
So she tells, she's saying that, it's just a lot, like, she's going through when it comes to True. She doesn't date or talk to anybody else. She even tells people she's married so that they'll leave her alone. I'm like, why?
Yeah, please, why?
Why are you doing that?
And who are these people that you telling that you married? Like who are these people?
And so she gets to Pepper's house. She gives him his stuff, runs and gets back in the car. And then True was on the balcony. Number one, like, she's on the phone. And he's like, so who you telling our business to?
Exactly.
And she's like, well, I got whoever her friend is on the phone. And he was just like, okay, look, she's going to be my baby mom. She's not going nowhere. So this is really ridiculous.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, and True is trying to tell her, remember you did this. And I guess he's talking about not leaving on a good note, just kind of storming off and all this type of stuff. And she's like, I didn't do anything. You're the one who's cheating and doing all this type of stuff. So her friend tells her, really, anyway, she ends up driving off. He gets a call while he's on the balcony.
Yeah.
But he don't want to say who it is. Probably the same girl or somebody else. Who knows?
It's probably work.
So Shante is driving back to her home, and she is just venting to her friend about everything that's been going on. And the friend is just like, girl, it's time to let him go. And honestly, I'm tired of hearing about it, really. So I'm just like, Shante, you kind of wearing out your
she wearing out with everybody.
Your venting sessions with your friends as well. So True knows that they are going to be together. He was cheating on her, but he is not going to explain it to the producers. He says the game is to be sold and not told. Then he gets up and leaves.
Yeah, I'm on house arrest tomorrow. I ain't staying here talking to y'all all day.
Exactly.
I can't give y'all the sauce. Now, I don't know if they gonna be on life after lockup. I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, I don't think so. But they did say that Shante lost the babies.
She did lose the babies. So we have to get back our gifts from the registry and things like that. Here's my thing. Let's start with the losing the baby thing. I wonder how much her not getting that ultrasound played a part in that. Remember when she got in and got a fake ultrasound? And she came out and said, I'm not gonna get an ultrasound, but I'm not gonna let True know because I know my baby's gonna be healthy. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is why it's important to stop playing games and stop what's the word? Like, hey, pregnancy's a real thing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Stop using True as or put like this. You shouldn't have used True as some type of like leverage of like, you know what? Next time, if you are on good behavior, I'll let you come inside. It's like, no, you shouldn't have played with that. Number two, you like games though. That's why you keep messing with True. And I don't think you're done with True. Yeah. Your best friend who has been telling you this whole time to stop messing with True, she said she's tired of hearing about it. True has been consistent in every aspect of his life that we've seen so far on the show. Yeah. So I can't even be mad at True because I'm like, yo, when you was crying down the street in the car talking about like you a fool, everybody tried to tell me, you still went on and you still was talking to True. And things like that. Now, granted, at that time you found out that you was pregnant, so I understand why you figured that like, hey, True is the father, I need to have him in my life. But hopefully you are truly done with True and let y'all go y'all separate ways. Like, you have enough to worry about, Shante, as an individual. Yeah. You gotta get a job based on what you told us in the show. You have 2 mortgages based on what you told us in the show and things of that nature. And True is on house arrest. So it's like y'all just need to really have a clean break and just go on about your lives. Yeah.
So Arthur and Hope.
This one surprised me right here.
So Paul pulls Arthur for a private conversation, and he just wants to know if Arthur's in a gang. Okay. And Arthur says, "No, sir. I'm not in a gang."
I'm not in a gang.
So Arthur tells Hope, as they're leaving the restaurant, he's like, you kind of left me to fend for myself, like when your sister was like grilling me and asking me questions. And Hope is saying, well, people just kind of want to see the man that you are. Like, if I sit up here and answer the questions for you, they're going to be wondering why you can't stand up for yourself and answer your own questions. And he thinks that people are just expecting that he's going to go back to jail. Like, he wants to show that he's going to be here to stick it out and stick around. Yeah. And Hope, it says sticking around is a lot different than stepping up. Okay. And she said, she's his girlfriend. He wants them to grow and to get to the engagement and the marrying side of things. Okay. So they're going to stick it out. They're going to try to work things out. And then we do see in the reel at the end that basically Arthur did go back to jail. Yes. May of 2024. And
they broke up. They are not together. He would have had me fooled. And I think that's what you really got to listen to people, man, because even though I worked in some fields, I don't know nothing about that correctional officer life. I don't know nothing about the way prisoners think and how they move and things like that. So when they asking questions of we worried that you would go back to jail, if you would have saw Arthur, you would have thought, or maybe it's just me. They're like, oh, he just trying to get his life together. He got anxiety. He be having mental health breakdown and things like that. I'm not thinking he's going to go rob somebody or rob something. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real thing that when these people get released from jail, that the chances of them going back is real.
Yeah.
And like it's not low. So the fact that he went back to jail, especially when he was talking about people think I'm gonna go back to jail, I'm not gonna go back to jail, it makes me think maybe you should have went home with your mama.
Maybe so, because from what I read that happened, and I don't know if it's necessarily true, is that him and Hope got into an altercation, and Hope ended up pulling a gun out on him.
Okay.
And like he grabbed the gun from her, and then she ended up calling the cops on him.
Wow.
So and I don't even know if that's true, but that's something that I had heard about the altercation that happened. So it wasn't necessarily that he did anything to get put back in jail, but whatever issue they had, like she participated in getting him back in jail.
Okay.
And I can see also why the mom would be like, just come with me, because you don't really know how things are going to go with this girl. Yeah. And especially if y'all get into arguments, who knows how she's going to react. So I agree with you totally on that.
Yeah, you should have went home with your mama, bro.
So we got Christine and Julian.
Yeah.
So Christine goes on stage.
And I wonder.
Yes.
If his mother and Arthur will have a relationship. Because they already in two different states. So like him being back in jail, sometimes you just gotta let your son be a grown man and just be like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you keep finding yourself in this situation. I can't keep getting my heart broken and hoping for better for you. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. So, yes, Christina and Julian.
Yes.
So, Christine goes on stage for her open mic night for her comedy show.
Comedy.
And she's, going, and, Julian, he ends up showing up, and she catches him in the corner of her eye, so she's happy he's there to support her. However, there is a heckler in the audience. So she's losing a bit of confidence. She's starting to hesitate and trip up over her jokes to the point where she actually forgets her jokes and her punchlines.
Wow.
And Julian is trying to encourage her, as well as her friends, basically saying, this guy's an a-hole. You're in Annapolis. It's not that big a deal. Tell your jokes. Do what you got to do. But she storms off stage, goes into the bathroom, sits on the toilet seat.
Fully clothed. Craziness.
And then they end up getting into the car and going home. And she just feels awful. She doesn't want to ever do this again. And it was really hard for her just having all these people looking and paying attention to her, because she said, as a prisoner, you're used to being invisible. And it was a lot to have all these eyes on her.
Yeah.
So it's the next day. She's outside, smoking her cigarettes, still kind of processing the night before. And, she was angry, then she was embarrassed, then she was mortified. And Julian tries to tell her that she was actually pretty funny before she started losing her confidence. So she tells him that she's not totally discouraged. She just has to do better at remembering things when there are distractions.
Do we remember what is their end story? I think I remember them saying that Julian introduced Christina to his father.
Yes.
But still not to the children.
Right.
And things like that. I don't know if we're going to see him on Life After Lockup. Let us know. Is it fair to call that guy a heckler?
Yeah.
I don't think he's a heckler. I think it was a fair Yelp review. Okay.
But the thing is, when somebody's doing a comedy show, you're supposed to be quiet. You shouldn't be hollering back at the
comedian. You supposed to be funny.
No.
Okay. Like
you can't do that.
You supposed to be funny. I came here. First of all, was this even a comedy place, or was it just a place that had a stage? I came here to eat my potato skins.
Well, it was open mic night, so they should have known that they were going to see some singing, comedy, whatever the hell.
Something, right? And this lady come up there, and she don't even remember her jokes. The joke's not funny, and now I'm seen as the bad guy when I'm like, check, next.
Okay.
We got a line of people that want to show us their talents. I don't want to spend my night out with my lady seeing this lady use me as a test dummy. No. First of all, Julian, you wanted her to fail at comedy. I can read between the lines. Okay. He just felt bad because he was like, wow, she's really getting booed. I thought that she would just like, not do good, but she's getting booed and heckled. I can't feel bad for her because at the end of the day, it's your first time. Your first time is going to be your worst time. So keep doing it if you really feel like you're good at comedy. I don't think you're that funny. Like, I don't think even hearing you talk naturally, you're not funny. So I don't know where or why. Like, all these people have these dreams and aspirations while they're in jail, that she want to write a book and she want to do this and she want to have this company. Focus on getting your kid. Focus on like those type of things and getting the work and getting Julian a job and things of that nature. The stand-up thing, I think you could put that on the back burner. Practice in the mirror. Practice remembering things. Did I feel sorry that you was crying on stage? I guess. But I think there's other things she need to focus on than trying to convince us that she's funny.
Yeah. For me, I feel like she's got to find joy somewhere.
Yeah. She ain't gonna get it to Julian, I don't think.
And I feel like if comedy is something that makes her happy and it's something that she can work towards and feel like she can get better at, I mean, somebody has to have an outlet and a goal. So I think that it's fine if she wants to pursue that. But hopefully, like Julian was saying, it doesn't send her into such a tailspin that she starts getting into unhealthy coping mechanisms.
It might.
But I think it's a healthy thing for her to work and to, have a hobby.
Yeah, social life. Yep,
and a social life and all these types of things. So I think it can be positive, but she just needs to just find a way for it not to break down her spirit.
That's true.
All. Mm-hmm.
And I think I already said I don't think we're going to see him on life after lockup.
Right.
I don't think so.
So we find out with Letitia, she was arrested for a theft charge. She is facing 5 years of a conviction, and she has her kids in Louisiana. Hope and Arthur, like we said, broke up, arrested May 2024. And yeah, and that's updates for everybody.
That's basically it. Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We will be doing life after lockup. Now, here's the thing I need y'all to do. I never asked for this, even though I just asked for it, but I'm asking specifically for the likes. The reason why I'm asking for the likes specifically is so that we can get in the rotation on YouTube so people can find us. I'm getting too many comments and too many emails about people saying, oh, I didn't know y'all reviewed this show. And I'm like, yeah, we've been reviewing the show for almost a while. Well, not this show. There's the Love During Lockup, Love After Lockup,
yes, a lot.
Life After Lockup. We locked up. You get what I'm saying? So make sure y'all give us the likes so we can not be greedy and keep it for ourselves, but share it out with everybody so everybody can know that we're here. And leave a comment. We like to discuss with y'all to see what y'all think. And we will be back next week with the new series, Life After Lockup. I feel like we're going to see some new people and some oldies on there. And, we like the drama. So we see y'all there. Somebody asks us, we going to do 60 Days In. 60 Days In is actually one of my favorite. Is it 30 Days In or 60 Days In?
60 Days In.
60 Days In is actually one of my favorite shows to watch. I never reviewed it. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I will see where it would fit in the schedule. I would talk it over with my wife, and then we will see. But I will be watching it.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay? We see y'all next week.
Bye.